Hey guys, TrainerDC here, coming at you with another video. It looks like more information regarding Generation 10 from the Terror Leak is currently being posted online. So far, I've seen images of the 3D models of certain islands, as well as a 3D model for a new character. You can search those up if you want to see them, but what I find more interesting from the new round of leaks is that we actually have descriptions of all the islands in this build of the game, as well as descriptions on what is going to be a part of each island, which is rather telling in terms of some story significance as to what exactly might be happening with parts of this game. So first and foremost, if you guys watched my Gen 10 recap video of everything we knew at the time of that recording, I'll leave a card up above to it if you don't know what I'm talking about, but in that video I said how there are going to be 54 islands in the game according to the pitch documents that they had from 2021. I thought that sounded overly ambitious at the time. I didn't think that's something they're going to be able to accomplish in game, and according to this new information that we have, apparently there are going to be 17 main islands and one uninhabited island in this game. I think that's much more reasonable than having 54 islands make up this game. I am a little bit curious about the fact that there are 17 islands and one uninhabited island. For the 17 islands and the one uninhabited one, I assume the uninhabited island is going to be some significance in the game. Either maybe we're going to be able to create our own island, maybe there's a legendary Pokemon that's there that it's uninhabited because the legendary Pokemon won't let anyone on the island. But if you add up all the islands, the 17 main islands plus this one uninhabited one, that's 18 islands. I wonder if there are going to be basically one island for each typing, if they're going to do something like that with it. I think that'd be a little bit odd for them to do because we've never really had that where each particular area of the game only has one type of Pokemon inhabiting it. I think that'd be a little bit weird, but it's something to definitely keep an eye on nonetheless. So the descriptions are as follow, as you can see on screen. We have the uninhabited island and the uninhabited island field, as well as the volcanic cavern. Again, I'm presuming that this is probably some sort of fire legendary that's going to be here in this uninhabited island volcanic cavern. That just seems like it's rather logical to me. For the following islands to come, I won't read each and every one of these, but just the ones that are significant in my mind. For Island 1, I presume this is our starting island, and not because it's called Island 1, but because it says this is where the hotel is going to be, and we know that apparently we're going to be traveling to this new region on vacation with our mother and our younger brother, and this is basically going to be our starting area for the game. We're starting in a massive city at this hotel, so presumably this is going to be our starting town for this game. We have the northern wasteland and magma area. It sounds like part of this region was destroyed. There's the Woobat Tunnel, which I'm curious if it's called the Woobat Tunnel. Maybe there's a regional variant for Woobat we could see in this game. There's apparently going to be rice fields. Our grass gym is going to be here. We're going to have a swamp area, the mangrove forest, which I wonder if mangrove is going to be a name of a Pokemon just like we have the Woobat Tunnel, or if mangrove is absolutely nothing at all and it's just a name of an area. Who knows? There's Mount Symbol, the buried ruins, the spiky rocks area, and the Mount Symbol summit. So there's a lot of areas within Island 1. This is going to be a rather large island, which I think is to be expected given this is the island with this giant massive city within it. Island 2 only has the poison swamp area and the poison gym. Again, kind of leading credence into the fact that each island might have a signature typing attached to it, given that Island 1 is the grass gym and Island 2 has this poison area within it. Island 3 has the anthill fieldlands. I assume we're getting a new ant Pokemon then. Maybe we'll see Durant. Island 4 has no landmarks listed. Island 5, we have the marsh area, the power plant. That's interesting. We're going to have a new power plant. Hopefully it's actually accessible, unlike the power plant in X and Y. We have the snowy mountain area, which again leads credence to the fact that, hey, this is our ice island because there's icicle snowfields, summit areas, wasteland areas, and a flowing water area. But the interesting thing that I skipped over here is this island is going to be home to the Majin Research Lab Ice, which gives us a little bit as to a peek behind the curtain as to what this story is actually going to be about. The Majin have been described to us. If you guys don't know what the Majin are, The Majin are essentially these different deity-like Pokemon that are going to be guarding over each of the islands. As of right now, we don't exactly know how many of them there are going to be, although there were certain types that were being highlighted within the code in our last leak. Again, definitely check out that Gen 10 recap video if you haven't seen it yet. But the fact of the matter here is these Majin are supposed to be these deity-like Pokemon from another dimension, similar to what we got in Generation 7 with Ultra Beast, and apparently they're going to be tied into the gimmick of this region, where Pokemon are going to be able to use the powers of these Majin, and there are rumors that there might even be certain Pokemon that transform based on the powers this Majin give them. So for example, if there's a Fire Majin, we're going to get a Fire type variant of Pikachu. But the fact of the matter is here, I find it rather interesting that there is a Majin research lab that's called the Majin Research Lab Ice in Island 5, meaning that we're probably going to have Majin research labs for every single Majin throughout this game, which is rather odd because I would have presumed that it would have been like the Tapus, where they're kind of these like deity-like Pokemon that are mystical and everyone knows about them. Maybe people worship them, but there's not really much known about them. But it seems like, according to this, they're being researched. Does that mean that the Majin have been captured by people, and are they being held within these research labs, these research facilities? Or are they just trying to learn more about the weather effects on each of these islands? As we know, weather is going to play a major role in this game. That's something that I am very curious about, as again, this is a little bit of a lore or plot significance that we're going to see within Generation 10 Pokemon Wind and Waves. Island 6 has the sandy and rocky areas respectively, as well as the flying gym. Island 7 has the fighting gym, as well as the Goro Rock Island. So there's an island within the island. That's kind of strange. Then Island 8 has Capital City, so I presume this is going to be a rather large island, as well as the Dark Gym, the Evil Team headquarters, I presume here by the group headquarters. We have the Pokemon Center headquarters, Tour Company headquarters, so this island has a lot of headquarters. There's a boutique, TM shop, hair salon, pharmacy, Ivy Jungle, Majin Research Lab ground, which again is leading into the fact that Majin are apparently getting researched by humans. That's rather interesting, a rather interesting development to come from this. But also too, this kind of deconfirms something that I was speculating on earlier, the fact that we have the Dark Gym as well as the ground Majin Lab on the same island. So the fact that there are 18 islands is just happenstance. It doesn't have anything to do with the 18 typings, seemingly. There's also Will-O-Wisp Caldera, which I wonder what that's about. Assumingly there's going to be a lot of ghost-type Pokemon there. Island 9 has the normal gym. Island 10 has nothing in the code regarding it. Island 11 has a middle-sized town, a rocky area, the Steel Gym, the Champion Trial, as well as the Pokemon League. So presumably this is going to be an island we go to earlier in the game, as one of our gym challenges are going to be there, and then we're going to have to go back to this island to face off against the Elite Four and the Champion. We have the Blizzard area, Glacier Lake, and Forest area. So again, the thing that I'm really noticing as we go through each of these islands is there's a lot of biodiversity amongst each island, which kind of leads credence to the fact that this game is going to be very much so focused on nature. And I actually like the fact that each island has different biomes within it. It's not just like a snowy island and then a jungle island. Like, no, each island is distinctively different and has unique parts within each island. Island 12, we have a desert area, the rock type Majin Research Lab, Desert Stadium, I wonder what that's about, Abandoned Mine Cave, Fieldland Area, Ghost Island, Ghost Mineral Spring. That's interesting. There's again another island within an island. Then Island 13 has the Island of Thones and Thone Path. I wonder if Thone is a new Pokemon. We have Island 14, the Fairy Island Cave, and the Fairy Gym. So very clearly Island 14 is going to have a heavy emphasis of the fairy type. Island 15 is Southwestern Island. Island 16 is the Desert Cauldron. Island 17 is the Ruins, the Islands of Ruins in the Forest, and Platform Island. So I guess that's going to be a kind of lore significance island. Then we also have Ocean 1, which apparently is going to be the home of Majin Research Lab Psychic and the Neon Abyss. No idea what the Neon Abyss is, but I find it rather interesting that there's a Majin Research Lab that's going to be underwater. And also, too, I'm noticing here that there are not as many Majin Research Labs as I remember reading in the other Gen 10 leak from Pokeos. So I imagine some of them are probably missing, and this isn't the complete picture of every single island in the game. And then it says Ocean 2 through Ocean 8. So there's going to be a total of 8 explorable ocean areas, but we don't have any description for any of them. Then we have Deep Sea 1 through Deep Sea 10. And then there's 2 legendary tempos, one for the wind and one for the wave legendary, which we know from the other leak that apparently the wind and wave legendary are going to be on an island that, because of storms surrounding it for the wind legendary and because of these really dangerous waves surrounding the wave legendary's island. So yeah, that's the description of this game's map and just all of the islands within it. Take it all with a grain of salt, because again, this is from the code of the game in whatever, variant of development it was in, whether it be the beta or alpha or something else, something in between. This is not finalized information, so when we see the final version of the game, things might be drastically different. But either way, this is making me more intrigued with Pokemon Wind and Waves. The fact that there are research labs dedicated to each Majin is something that we really haven't seen before within the Pokemon franchise. Like, when have we ever seen a particular facet of legendary Pokemon have research labs dedicated to each one of them? That means that the characters in the lore of this region, they all know about these creatures, they all know about these Pokemon, and they're trying to learn more about them, so there are particular research labs dedicated to each one. Again, I'm rather curious if these Majin are being held within the research labs and they've been captured by maybe the evil team, or maybe this research lab is just meant to help understand the Majin better and their origins and how they're affecting the gimmick of the region. And not only that, but I remember long ago in the pitch documents for this game, back when the first Terra leak happened, they were saying how legendary Pokemon will affect the different environments and the climates of these islands, and presumably those are the Majin. So maybe all these research labs just exist as a way to help better understand these Pokemon from another dimension. Either way, this is rather intriguing. Anyways, let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about all this. What do you guys think about the fact that we got yet another leak for Generation 10 before Pokemon Day? At this rate, we're going to see Pokemon before this game gets announced. We're going to see the starters at this rate and the legendary Pokemon. This is kind of crazy. But what do you think about the 18 islands that we're going to have in this game? What do you think about the fact that there are Majin research labs within this game? Do you also find that to be a rather fascinating tidbit like I do, or could you kind of care less about that detail? Let me know down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more content like this from Trainer DC. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.